Good morning, Jefferson City. Welcome back to the NT Daily. If you're wondering if these neutral colors I am been wearing this week reflect my mood, you would be correct because yes, I am still missing my partner in crime, Amanda Riley. She is off exploring fun places on vacation, and I am here in the studio stuck with Kelton. Just kidding. There's no offense to Kelton here. Hopefully she'll be back next week and we'll have more to talk about, and we can even maybe bring back Hot Mess Hot Take for a little bit. I'm sure she's going to have some stories to share. So, yeah. In actual Jefferson City news today, so because that's the focus of the show, is Jefferson City, Mid-Missouri local news. Today was the governor's deadline to act on legislation from this year's regular session, and one of the biggest bill packages to cross his desk is now officially law. We've also got an update on New World screwworm protections, the race to fill the vacant City Council Ward 3 seat that we've been talking about, and yes, we are still going to talk about Panda Express one more time because I think Jefferson City may have completely lost its mind at the opening over orange chicken. So we'll get started with Governor Mike Kehoe signing Missouri's omnibus healthcare bill Monday, wrapping dozens of healthcare proposals into one sweeping piece of legislation before the bill deadline. The legislation touches everything from telehealth and physician licensing to disease surveillance and rural emergency medical services. Few provisions that stand out on issues we have discussed on this show. The bill requires the state to begin tracking cases of alpha-gal syndrome, the tick-borne condition that can leave people allergic to red meat. That's a big deal here in Central Missouri. We like our red meat, and we have a lot of cattle farmers. So Missouri has become one of the states seeing increasing attention around the disease, and supporters say better reporting will help public health officials understand how widespread it really is. The package also includes Elijah's Law requiring licensed child care providers to adopt food allergy policies and train staff to recognize severe allergic reactions before the law is fully implemented. It also expands who can provide dental care inside Missouri's correctional facilities, something supporters say will make it easier to recruit dentists to serve inmates. The bill was sponsored by Representative Tara Peters and carried in the Senate by our Senator Mike Bernsgetter, who described it as bringing together more than 20 lawmakers' healthcare proposals into one omnibus package. Like many omnibus bills, it's a wide-ranging piece of legislation, but with Governor Kehoe's final signature, those changes are now headed into law. And speaking of healthcare, we are going to hear from one of our sponsors of the NT Daily, MU Healthcare. Today's show is sponsored by MU Healthcare. MU Healthcare's front door is never too far from yours, with more than 80 locations across mid-Missouri and expert hospital care in Jefferson City and Columbia. MU Healthcare is committed to ensuring every Missourian has access to the region's most advanced diagnostic and treatment options. MU Healthcare, expert care close to you. And on a similar vein, within healthcare and agriculture, we are going to talk about health, animal health, how our health is impacted from animal health. I think that all matches. But the Missouri Department of Agriculture has again updated requirements for animals entering the state from areas at risk for the New World screwworm. If you've been watching the show, listening to the show, you know we've talked about this several times over the last few weeks. We want everyone to stay updated on what those requirements are. The updated rules require additional veterinary documentation and inspection language for animals coming from affected areas before they can enter Missouri. Sounds like a time when the government actually wants to see your paperwork for a really good reason, and the additional documentation is going to be necessary. So the good news is this: there are currently no cases of New World screwworm in Missouri, and state officials continue to emphasize that the U.S. food supply chain remains safe. These changes are really about prevention, making sure infected animals don't bring the pest into the state. For Missouri's livestock producers, it's another reminder that agriculture officials are continuing to monitor this situation very closely. We have tried to keep everyone up to date on it, but again, good news is we have no reported cases so far, and it sounds like officials are tracking this very, very closely, and we will continue to give updates as we get them. The process to fill Jefferson City's vacant Ward 3 City Council seat is moving forward. 4 residents have officially submitted letters of interest, which was the first step in this process. They had to have people who were interested in filling the vacant seat. Those 4 are Susan Cook, Hal Dooley, Erica Choinka, and Emmett Sprodlin. Council members could begin making nominations during this coming Monday night City Council meeting on July 20th. Then the city plans to hold a public forum for finalists on August 3rd before making the appointment on August 17th. So speaking of Monday's council meeting, we will have Steffi Smith again in the studio. Our favorite local reporter will be back on Monday to preview everything that's on the agenda before council meets that evening. So if you want to know what's going to be discussed on Monday, send us your questions so that we can ask Steffi. She always does a great job. We love having her on, but we expect that Ward 3 vacancy is probably going to take up a lot of time on July 20th, and we will keep you posted on more. But before we move on, a little message from our friends at Hen House. Today's show is also sponsored by our local market here in Jefferson City, Hen House Market. The new weekly specials start today, and there are plenty of great summer deals waiting for you. This week, you'll find center cut boneless chuck roast for $7.49 a pound, KC strip steaks for $13.99 a pound, family brats for $3.99 per pound, fresh peaches and nectarines, seedless watermelon, and of course, they always have plenty of bakery, deli, and fresh produce favorites in their weekly ads. Don't forget to get these deals sent directly to you. You can text Hen House to 41570 to receive their weekly hot deals right on your phone. Hen House, proudly your local market here in Jefferson City. Now, we talked about the opening of Panda Express earlier this week, but Jefferson City really let that take on a whole new personality. The News Tribune has the full story, and it is honestly worth reading. There were costumes. So the very first customer showed up at 5:30 in the morning, 4 hours before there even was a ribbon cutting. And a customer was in a full panda costume specifically for the occasion. By the time the restaurant opened, the line was wrapping around the door. Panda Express had 52 employees working the opening day just to keep up with demand. So for those wondering about the full schedule for this week, Panda Express is going to be open from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily, which is a lot of orange chicken and crab rangoon. That's a lot. 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily this week, with permanent hours to be determined once they see how busy it is. But it sounds like it's pretty busy. So if you've been waiting for those crowds to die down, you might want to give it a few days or embrace the chaos. We love chaos here on the NT Daily, but your call. Before we wrap, one reminder, 1 week from today on July 22nd, the News Tribune will host a candidate forum featuring candidates running for state representatives in the area and state senate. Jack Wardinsky has more details in today's paper on that forum that will be held next week. I will talk a little bit more about it tomorrow and have more details on time and location and all the details. I think I've been voluntold again. Does anybody notice that I get voluntold a lot around here, that I have to show up to places? So sounds like I have to be there, so I hope you will come and see me. So again, we'll have a candidate forum next week ahead of those August primaries. But that's all I got for today until Amanda gets back and helps me, talk about things more, have more jokes. I feel like half my personality is missing. So have a great Wednesday, everybody, and we'll see you soon on the NT Daily.